Hello and welcome to Cheats Calligraphy with Miss Brown. So today you may have noticed I've upgraded. I am using a whole sheet of paper rather than half a sheet of paper, and that's because today I'm going for quite an ambitious project. It's going to have calligraphy, it's going to have a banner, and it is going to have a picture as well. So stick with it, but hopefully it's going to look brilliant. It's going to be based on the film Up, which is where the house floats around with its balloons, and there's a great quote from that film which says adventure is out there, so I thought that that is what I would do today. I'll just show you my notebook. I was doing a rough sketch of what it's going to look like. Ignore that banner so you can see. So we're going to have a banner with adventure in the middle with the balloons at the top coming down to a house. So that's sort of what it's going to look like, just so you have an idea, but obviously a million times better. Right, let's get started then. So I'm going to start with my pencil and I'm going to sketch out the bottom of my banner so that I know where I'm going to try and do my writing. My banner's probably going to go just above halfway up my page. So with my pencil, just above halfway up my page, I'm going to start about a quarter of the way in. And I'm going to do a line with a bit of a curve in the middle. So it curves up a little bit and then curves back down again. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly perfect because I'm going to rub it out, but it's just a guide that I can write on. So that's the bottom of my banner, and I'm going to do my writing next before I finish off my banner. So I'm going to use my trusty black felt tip, but of course you can use any pens you've got lying around. So adventure, A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E, 8 letters, no 9 letters, sorry. Okay, so I want my N to be about in the middle. That's how I work out everything when I do my calligraphy, to try and make sure that it fits in. So A-D-V-E-N. Okay, so it's not too much space to fit the word in, so I'm going to write it fairly small, but I still want it to be a main feature. So let's start over just on top of the left part of your line. That's where you're going to do your A. So my A comes down and round and up to join at an angle, and then the straight bit of the A goes straight down. Now the D, I don't want the D to go too high up because obviously it's going to be written in a banner, so I'm going to keep it a bit smaller than perhaps I'd normally do it. So I go up and round into my D, just the same as my A. Back down and round, but instead of going straight up for my D, I'm going to go up and then loop it out. So I start to go up, and then I loop it out, and I'm going to keep it quite short, and I'm going to come back down. A-D, A-D-V-E-N. Good, right, I think I've got my spacing right. Okay, up into my V, and then down into a normal V, but instead of just flicking off the end like I do in normal handwriting, I'm going to do a little loop just to make it look a bit more special. And then from that loop I go straight into my E, which is a pretty normal E, and then up to where my N is going to be. So I'm about in the middle of my banner and I'm just following this curve along. So my N, I'm going to go down into my N, and I am going to go up into a bit of a high loop because I like to make my N's have a bit more of a flourish. So then N, up and down a little bit, but not out the bottom of my banner, and then straight up into my T, which again I'm not going to make too high. And then I've just got a U, an R and an E to fit in. So up into my U, down and up at an angle into the second part of the U. Next we come on to our R. I wonder if you can remember how to do an R by now. So we go up into the R and round the loop at the top, just like a roller coaster, across and then down to finish the R off, and then straight into my E with a little flick at the end. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to colour in the downstrokes of my adventure so that my word is finished. So for my A, I'm going to add a bit of thickness to this downstroke, and then we go up and we'll add in a bit of thickness to there, Of course, you can pause this video if it takes you a little bit longer, but I'm just going to keep working through, so stop it if you need to. Up into the D and down. Oh, I think I'm going to make it a bit fatter than that. There we go. Up into the loop of my D, and then I'm going to make the downstroke fatter. Up into my V, and there's the downstroke. And I want a little chunky bit in the loop. My E goes round, and there is the larger bit on the downstroke of my E. Up into the N and down. Up into the loopy bit of the N, and there's my downstroke there. Up into my T. Now, because I've sort of gone a bit wobbly here, I'm going to put the downstroke at the back just to try and hide that a little bit, just to be a bit cheeky and colour that bit in and hide it. There we go. Now for my T, I like to do a little flourish, so I'm going to start with a loop round here. I'm going to come down and up. Sorry if you can hear the noise of a motorbike in the background. Someone's obviously having a nice ride around. Oh, there it comes. And hopefully it will go away now. Right, up into my U and down and up into the U again and down. The loop of my R and the roller coaster bit of my R. And then up into my E, and there's my downstrokes. Okay. Just check a adventure. Yep, I have spelt it correctly. I've done all my loops and dots and flourishes. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete my banner. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my black pen. I'm just going to go over that line that I created now that I know that it's in the right place. So with my black pen, I'm just going to follow it along there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a parallel line, a line that follows that curve along the top, so above adventure. Make sure I'm doing it high enough so it covers the T as well. Okay. Now, in order to turn this into a banner, what I need to do is I need to join these straight down. So this one, I'm going to join the top to the bottom with a straight line. I'll just fill in there. Now this one, I've gone a bit further over, but that's okay. I'm just going to draw straight down. And then what I'll do is I'll just extend that line to meet it. There we go. Okay, starting to look a little bit like a banner, but it needs to look a bit more 3D. So take your pen, and in the bottom left corner, you are going to make a sort of triangle shape. So imagine that is a triangle. We've got the second side, which comes out like that, and then join it to make a sort of triangle like that. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So pen in the bottom right corner. There's one side of my triangle. There's the next side of my triangle, and I'm going to join it up with a straight line going upwards. And I'm going to colour those bits in actually with my black pen. You can always leave that and do that later, just to make my banner look a bit more 3D. Okay, now it's time for the floaty bits of the banner. I'm not quite sure what we call them. So let's start on the right hand side. So from the bottom of this right triangle, I am going to draw a curved line, sort of following the same curve as this one, but it's going to come out below. So I'm going to draw a curved line out that way. Then I'm going to put my pen just above halfway up this side line, and I'm going to draw a similar line that comes out about the same distance as the one I just drew. So it follows the same curve and out it comes. And then I'm going to join these two lines with a sideways V. So in and out. And there I have one side of my banner. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So the pen goes on the bottom right hand corner of this triangle. It's going to follow the line of the curve and it's going to come out this way. So I draw a line coming out. Oh, I haven't quite joined them, no problem. I'll just colour in that bit. And then I'm going to do the same, pen just over halfway up this side line, and I'm going to draw a matching line to the one I've just drawn out. There we go. And then to link it up, I'm going to do a sideways V to link those two lines up. So in and out. Right, part one complete. We've got adventure. Now, the quote is adventure is out there. So it's up to you to decide how you want to do this. I'm going to write is out there just in capital letters underneath. You could write it in calligraphy underneath. You could write it on the bottom. It's up to you. I'm going to write it just underneath here. So I'm going to have my is and then out, O-U-T, and then there. Am I going to fit it in? I think so. T-H, just check, E. Okay, right, lettering complete.